but from how much it would force defenses to stretch out and open up the rest of the floor. Cade Cunningham has been incredible this season, and the fact there's still room for improvement should terrify the rest of the league.
Number 1 pick in 2021, Cade Cunningham entered the NBA with scouts calling him a savant-like guard and a potential game changer. But the first seasons were anything but smooth. Injuries, losses, and a struggling Pistons team painted a picture of unfulfilled promise.
Cade Cunningham is feared to have suffered a stress fracture in his right. Cunningham is reportedly mulling over options, including surgery.
Yet in the middle of defeat, flashes of brilliance appeared, moments where Cade seemed untouchable, even when the scoreboard said otherwise. Some questioned if he could handle the pressure, if he could carry a franchise through the toughest storms. Others dismissed him as another young talent trapped on a losing team. But every setback, every tough night, quietly built something rare.
It's been a loss. What did you learn the most that will be applied to make sure that next year this team...
The player who once faced doubt is now forcing the league to pay attention, reshaping expectations with each pass, each clutch shot. Stay with us because we're about to reveal why Cade Cunningham is becoming exactly what the NBA feared. The struggle that shaped him. Cade Cunningham's story didn't start with highlights and cheers. When he joined the NBA as the number 1 pick, expectations were sky high, but reality hit fast. Injuries limited him to just 12 games in his second season.
Cade Cunningham is coming off his Eastern Conference Player of the Week honor. He got hurt in the fourth quarter.
Detroit, his team, was a struggling franchise with fans frustrated and morale low. Every loss felt heavier than the last. A 28-game losing streak in the 2023-24 season wasn't just numbers on a scoreboard, it was a test of character. But here's the twist. While the Pistons were losing, Cade was quietly building something bigger. On nights when teammates faltered, he stepped up. Scoring 40-plus points in a game became a regular feat even as the team fell behind. More than points, it was the way he approached the game.
Cunningham, he puts Oklahoma State back on top with under 40-point game.
Calm, patient, focused. Every missed shot, every turnover became a lesson rather than a setback. The very adversity that could have crushed a rookie instead forged a leader. It wasn't only about stats. Observers started noticing his poise. At 6'6", he wasn't just scoring, he was reading the floor, anticipating opponents, controlling pace. A game where Detroit lost by 15 points could still feel like a personal victory for Cade.
Point shooter, a great scorer in the interior, and then bringing that defense and that size.
Because he was learning how to carry a team under pressure. That kind of resilience is rare, and scouts took note quietly, even if the headlines were all about losses. Detroit's struggles, in hindsight, were a hidden advantage. Cade faced chaos daily, coaching changes, front office shakeups, and a young roster still learning to compete. Most stars would have cracked under that pressure. Cade didn't. He absorbed it, he adapted, and that's why the NBA is now paying attention.
Cade Cunningham. And I don't know if it made the final cut, so maybe this whole thing can be repurposed.
The player who was tested at rock bottom is now climbing towards something bigger, something unstoppable. The breakthrough moment, after years of losses and injuries, Cade Cunningham finally reached a point where his growth became impossible to ignore. The Pistons' 23-24 season had been brutal, but it was also the moment that forged his resilience. In the middle of all that chaos, Cade began to show signs of mastery, not just as a scorer, but as a leader who could control the game in ways few could. It didn't happen all at once. Some nights he'd score 40 points and still leave the court with a loss.
His floater is good. Oh, wow. Hill steps inside. He has it taken away by Cunningham. Cunningham goes at Reeves, lost it.
Other nights he'd orchestrate plays, delivering assists that made teammates look unstoppable. Even in defeat, he was learning, adjusting, and quietly proving that his talent was more than just hype. By the following season, those lessons started paying off. The Pistons added key players around him, veterans who could shoot, defend, and make the floor less chaotic. Cade wasn't forced to carry everything alone. With Duncan Robinson spacing the court and Karis LeVert creating shots,
the greatest three-point shooter in Heat history is on the move. The Heat have traded Duncan Robinson to the Detroit Pistons.
Cade's vision and decision-making could shine. The team began to move with him, not against him. numbers started to tell the story. He averaged over 9 assists per game, showing that his growth wasn't just about scoring. He could control the tempo, decide when to accelerate, and when to slow the game down. Defenders couldn't just focus on him, they had to worry about what he would do with every pass. That's the kind of player coaches and opponents fear.
James is a head coach in NBA history. I imagine of an NBA head coach and reaching this milestone.
Someone who can turn the entire game around without taking every shot. He understood when to push, when to trust teammates, and when to step up in clutch moments. Each decision, each read, made him more dangerous than anyone expected. Fans began to notice. Analysts started mentioning him in MVP conversations. The narrative shifted from will he survive the pressure? How do we stop him? The NBA realized that the player who had once faced doubt on every court.
They kept it rolling last night. Let's check in. Cade Cunningham and the Pistons hosting the Wizards early in the third quarter. The Pistons
was now shaping the Pistons into a team no one could take lightly. Cade Cunningham's breakthrough was more than a season of good stats. It was the arrival of a complete player, forged in adversity, sharpened by experience, and guided by a mindset that turns challenges into opportunities. Numbers that speak. By the time the 2025 season rolled around, Cade Cunningham wasn't just showing flashes of greatness, he was dominating the court in ways that even skeptics couldn't ignore. The Pistons weren't just winning, they were controlling games with Cade as the engine. And the numbers reflected it. He was averaging 26.7 points per game, nearly 10 assists, and contributing across rebounds, steals, and even defensive plays. Every stat told a story of a player growing into the type of talent the NBA fears.
Cade Cunningham, he's the second biggest story of this game, makes the shot to force overtime.
But stats alone don't capture the full picture. Take clutch moments, for example. In the fourth quarter, when the pressure is highest, Cade became calm and decisive. Defenders couldn't predict him. Sometimes he would pull up for a mid-range shot. Other times he would find a cutting teammate for an easy basket. It was no longer just scoring, it was game control. He wasn't forcing plays. He was reading the defense and deciding the outcome before anyone else knew what was happening. Cade's ability to distribute the ball elevated his teammates.
Thompson shooting the penalty for 2 shots.
All right, Rockets are over the limit. Foul on Şengün, and as you said, double teams play on.
Duncan Robinson found space for open threes. Caris LeVert could attack the basket with confidence, and even role players started flourishing because the offense flowed through him. The Pistons became more than the sum of their parts. The team ran on Cade, but it didn't feel like one player dominating. It felt like a system built around his vision, and that made it impossible for opponents to stop. This dominance wasn't just a result of one good season, it was the product of lessons learned from earlier struggles. Every missed shot, every turnover in losing seasons became data for improvement. He refined his mid-range game, trimmed bad shot attempts, and worked to read defenses faster. The result, a player who could score efficiently, assist consistently, and defend smartly. Even the NBA began to take notice. Analysts compared him to elite guards in the league, not because of hype, but because his impact was measurable. The Pistons were 9.9 points, better per 100 possessions with him on the floor. He led the team in minutes by a wide margin, and every possession ran through him. The conversation shifted. It wasn't whether Cade was good, it was whether anyone could stop him. And it wasn't just about numbers on a sheet. Watching him play, it was clear that he had developed control and maturity, the kind that turns a talented player into a franchise cornerstone. Opponents started planning entire defensive schemes around him, yet Cade adapted, using his vision and poise to find openings or create opportunities for teammates. Cade Cunningham's stats are impressive, yes, but they're the surface of something deeper. They reveal a player who has mastered the balance between scoring and playmaking.
All right, Cade, you guys gave these fans here quite the show. Over a dozen lead changes.
One who thrives under pressure, and one whose rise is rewriting expectations for the Pistons and the league. The leader they didn't expect, Cade Cunningham's story isn't just about points or assists. It's about the kind of leader who changes a team's culture. From his first season, it was clear that the Pistons were a struggling franchise. Losses piled up, fans grew frustrated, and young players often lost confidence. Most stars would have distanced themselves, but Cade stayed engaged, showing up every game, every practice, ready to lift his team. Leadership doesn't always show in the box score. Cade's influence came in small, consistent ways. He encouraged teammates after mistakes, guided younger players through tough possessions, and kept morale steady even during long losing streaks. Veterans like Caris LeVert and Duncan Robinson started trusting his decisions on the court, realizing that Cade's vision wasn't just about making the right pass, it was about making the right team play. Even under pressure, Cade maintained poise. In close games, he didn't panic or rush. Instead, he made smart decisions, whether it was taking a mid-range shot, setting up a teammate, or controlling the pace. Opponents noticed it too. He wasn't just scoring, he was dictating how the game unfolded. This level of calm and control is rare, especially for a player so young. Off the court, his leadership was equally apparent. Locker rooms that once felt disorganized started running more smoothly. Cade treated teammates as equals, deflecting praise and making everyone feel part of the team's progress. That humility created loyalty. Players wanted to play harder, knowing Cade was in their corner. Coaches praised his ability to carry without overshadowing, a trait that separates good players from franchise-changing ones. What makes this leadership even more remarkable is its non-linear growth.
Cade Cunningham for the Pistons made it happen down the stretch, and the Pistons win 122-117.
Cade didn't wake up one day as a leader. It emerged gradually through adversity, learning from losses, handling criticism, and growing confidence in his teammates. Every tough season, every frustrating night, shaped the player who could now inspire others to perform at their best. Tesika the Pistons' recent success isn't just because Cade scores or assists. It's because he sets the tone. He models the behavior he expects: focus, patience, and smart decision-making. In a league filled with stars who chase stats, Cade has shown that leadership and team-first thinking can elevate a struggling franchise into a real contender. The threat the league feared Cade Cunningham isn't just a star anymore. He's the type of player the NBA struggles to plan against. After years of learning, adapting, and quietly improving, he's now dominating both ends of the court. Opponents don't just guard him. They have to rethink their entire strategy every time he steps on the floor. His scoring is impressive, 26.7 points per game, shooting efficiently, but what makes him truly dangerous is how he controls the game. With nearly 10 assists per night, Cade turns every possession into a potential advantage. Defenders can't double team without leaving someone open. Every decision, every pass, every cut he makes forces the other team to react, and reacting is never enough. The league is also noticing his consistency. Even in clutch moments, when the pressure is highest, Cade stays calm.
Cade Cunningham and the Pistons hosting the Wizards early in the third quarter. The Pistons...
Fourth quarter situations that break other stars seem to energize him. He reads defenses like a chess master, creating plays that seem inevitable in hindsight. The Pistons are no longer a team trying to survive. They're a team that can end your playoff hopes before you even realize it. Cade's rise also has MVP implications. Analysts now list him among the top contenders in the Eastern Conference. But more than awards, it's the league-wide impact that matters. Teams are building strategies specifically to slow him down, yet he keeps adapting. His growth from a talented rookie on a struggling team to a franchise-defining superstar is a story the NBA didn't see coming, but now no one can ignore. Cade Cunningham's journey is more than a rise. It's a lesson in patience, resilience, and growth. From injuries and long losing streaks to leading a franchise and dominating the league, every setback became a stepping stone. The player who once faced doubt is now shaping the Pistons into a team the entire NBA respects and fears. But the story isn't over. Every game he plays adds a new chapter. Every assist, every clutch shot, every defensive stop reinforces why he has become the type of player that teams have to plan for months in advance. Cade Cunningham isn't just a star, he's a force that can change the outcome of a season. Stay tuned, because as the Pistons climb higher and Cade keeps evolving, the NBA's reaction will only get louder. Watch closely, this is just the beginning of a player rewriting expectations.